Hello, good morning. Welcome to another day and another video. Today I'm going to talk about convenience, which is one of the 4 reasons that people give for not going vegan. So we've got tradition, habits, convenience, which we're going to talk about today, and taste. Before I start, as always, it'd be really nice if you could leave a comment or a like or a dislike, or let me know what you think. Let me know if there are any topics that you'd like me to cover. But yeah, so let's dig in. Okay, so today I'm going to talk about convenience. So when I started, when I became vegan, one of the first things I noticed was that it was difficult um, to find vegan options in the places where I'd been shopping before. So if I were to go out into a cafe, into a bakery, all these places that I used to go, I soon realized that actually finding a vegan option was not that simple. So um, it, in that respect, it can be a little bit inconvenient, but with a tiny little bit of research and a tiny little bit of planning, it's actually not that difficult. So if, for instance, you're going to work or you're going out for the day, it's really quite easy to prepare some sandwiches the night before. Or another thing you can do is you can also there are lots of online apps like Happy Cow, where you can look in advance. Okay, where am I going to be? Or even when you're there, take a look at the app, and you'll often find plenty of places where you can go and enjoy a nice meal, or get some snacks, or in a supermarket. I mean, people say that being vegan is too inconvenient. Um, it's too inconvenient, and that almost all foods have got animal products in them, and people say, I haven't got the time, I haven't got the patience to go round the supermarket looking what's in every single product. I actually this strangely enough was one of the good things about going vegan, because before I actually went vegan, I never used to look what was in meals. I never realized that trans fats were in so many products. I never realized so many products contained saturated fats. I never realized the sugar, the salt, the bad fat content of all these products. And actually, by becoming vegan, I began to educate myself about nutrition, about the things that I was actually putting in my body. So um, this aspect of it being inconvenient to have to look at packaging actually was a kind of a blessing in disguise, because it's changed my whole view on what I eat. I mean, there's lots of products that I ate before that were perhaps even vegan that I just wouldn't eat now, simply because I've become far more knowledgeable about the nutrition that's in them or not. Another reason people give for not wanting to go vegan is obviously that it's too time consuming. This is also a convenience issue. People say it's too time consuming to look for alternatives. I haven't got the time. I'm leading a busy life. Um, but as I mentioned before, it really only takes a little bit of work. And as soon as you've been doing this 2, 3, 4 weeks, it becomes like second nature. You really don't think about this before. This issue of convenience, it just melts away. Actually, it's like a lot of things. When you start anything, you need energy, and once you've that initial launch and you're out of the Earth's gravitational pull, so to speak, you'll find that things are a lot easier and, like I said, second nature. So you learn when and you're in a restaurant, you just ask, could you tell me, is there any cheese in that, or is there any milk in that? It becomes easy to ask. In supermarkets, you know what to look for, you know where to go, and you know where the products are that you can eat. It's simple, really, and it becomes also second nature to prepare a little bit of food in advance if that's necessary. I mean, the world's changing quickly, and I know in the UK or in Sheffield, where I come from now, the number of vegan options in supermarkets, cafes, it's really no excuse anymore, to be fair. If you're living in a city, there are lots and lots of alternatives. So, okay, so another thing is that convenience really isn't a strong enough argument to support the cruelty that's been inflicted on animals. It really isn't. To say, oh, I like the convenience of having cheese on my pizza, it's not really a good argument to support the cruelty that goes into killing a pig or a chicken or a cow. And actually, going vegan is in as much as it's a change, but it's also about learning a habit change. And this was where I had my epiphany moment, when I started to apply the principles that I'd applied in other things in my life, and when I dug into actually how do people make changes last, how easy is it to make changes, when I started to actually research not the things that were at the fore of my mind. Oh, I won't be able to eat meat again. I won't be able to pop down to the local bakery and just get a bun. I won't be able to, all these things. Instead of, when I stopped thinking about these things and started concentrating instead on how do I make changes in my life? What steps do I need to take? What things have I done in the past that have helped me? Can I now apply to becoming vegan? When I did that, actually, becoming vegan became very, very, very simple, and that's one of the biggest gifts for me. Is not just the fact that I'm now vegan and live a healthy life and just eat a plant-based diet and don't have all this death inside me after I've eaten a big steak, and not to mention the digestion and all the other things, and that I'm not contributing to cruelty. No, one of the greatest gifts of all this has been actually to learn about habit change, about how you can take simple principles and apply them to any area, including becoming vegan, to change simply and become a better person. This was one of my greatest epiphanies, you can say, that when I started to apply the principles that had helped me in other parts of my life to becoming vegan, it actually wasn't that difficult at all. So this was a rather shorter video today, because I think the inconvenience thing, if you think about what inconvenience means to us, the inconvenience of maybe having to go a street further to find a cafe that sells something vegan, the inconvenience of perhaps having to read 2 or 3 labels in a supermarket, the inconvenience of perhaps having to make a sandwich the evening before, the inconvenience of perhaps having to look on an app, oh, where could I go for lunch today, or where could I go for dinner today, instead of just going randomly wherever you want. All of these inconveniences really pale into insignificance to the inconvenience that the animals go through. They pay for our convenience with their lives, they want to live. Yesterday I saw a video posted on one of the vegan forums, and it was a pig in a slaughterhouse, and it was awful. This pig it had been marked. The back of the pig had been marked with a red line. It was to signify that it was going to be slaughtered, and this pig was alone in this slaughterhouse, and it was obviously being pushed along by somebody, and it was shaking, it's shivering. This pig knew that it was going to die. It knew where it was, and it knew that this was the end for it. And I don't know what kind of life the pig had had before, but I'm guessing probably pretty horrible. And if you think of all that and that inconvenience that those animals go through, and then compare it with the inconvenience of making a sandwich the evening before, it's just not an excuse. And I really hope that you see it that way as well. Anyway, thank you for tuning in this morning. If you like the video, if you'd like me to make a different video on a different topic, please leave a comment or a like or a dislike. And tomorrow I'm going to make another video about taste.